Hi, welcome to another painting with Derek Burleson Art. Today, as I told you in our last little video we made, we are going to do a covered bridge for this one. This is going to be for one of our classes. So we're going to block it all in with acrylic, and then we are going to paint the whole thing in acrylic. We won't add any oils or anything like that to this one because this is one we're going to do in class. So anyway, I went ahead and I kind of drew out what my bridge is going to look like. Something along this lines. I may angle a little bit, I don't know. But I'm just going to be pretty simple. I just wanted you to kind of see. I blocked it in really quick so you'll kind of get an idea. There'll be a creek running through here. There'll be some rocks, bushes, trees in the background, a little sky color, and then our bridge. And I looked at several and decided there was some I liked, some I didn't. I kind of liked this where the water was going underneath. There was a winter scene. There was some that was summer, but I didn't like the bridge, so I kind of took some scenery from one, took a bridge from another, the water from another. So I kind of combined about 3 or 4 different pictures I saw, and I'm going to kind of make my own. So anyway, we're going to get started, and then we're going to get this all blocked in before we start on anything else. Now, on my palette is the paints I'm going to use. I got some titanium white, Mars black, Hooker's green, a little phthalo yellow. It's kind of like almost a sap green, lemon yellow, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, and a little alizarin crimson. So I think that's the colors we'll use for now, and see if we want to add any, change any, but I think throughout the painting that's the colors we're going to use. Okay, let me get me a towel and get ready here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to block the sky in. I'm just going to take a little bit of that ultramarine blue, and it'll kind of be over here. I'll kind of show you a little bit, but I'm not going to use that board much right now. I will maybe later, but I'm just going to get a really light blue in the sky. Just get it in there. Don't really care. We just want to get the color. A lot of trees are going to kind of come up in here. And again, if it's a little light, and you can kind of see the canvas through it, don't worry too much about it, because we can always come in and put another coat on blue on there, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to come down in that same blue, and I'm going to kind of decide where I'm going to have some lights where it's going to come bounce in here. I don't quite know yet. Maybe over in here. Let's add just a little bit more of the dark. Yeah, it's really kind of on here. It just seems like it shows that it's dark on there, but it's really not. All right, so there we go. Just something like this. There we go. Then I think it's going to be kind of shaded over in here for now. That'll kind of be dark over in there. And then I'm just going to kind of push that over into there. It really will just all be in. Okay, then over here, there probably is actually going to be another tree that's going to kind of come in here on top of this one, somewhere in there. Probably come on this side of the road. But let's see. I don't really have where I want my shading because I don't really have a picture. So I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. But I think my light's going to come from maybe here. Just how fast these trees can transform on you. Now, of course, that's still wet, so a lot of black in that brush. Okay, so let's see. Now in here, what I'm going to do, oh, I told you you can use a fan brush too. So let me bring up, I'm going to put this bigger one up. So let me take the fan brush and let's just do a little highlighting. So I'm going to take some of that sap green, or I'm sorry, hooker's green, a little bit of that phthalo yellow, and I'm going to kind of make me a little it's kind of a in between, and then just kind of come in here and tap. And don't worry about, kind of change up your colors as you go. Just tap, 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 tap. Have some lighter areas. Now we will have some lighter stuff, and then just kind of tap it around. Just using the edge of that brush, just kind of turn it, twist it, make it look like leaves way in the background. And just kind of come around. Remember, our light's coming from this way, so we just kind of keep going, kind of. But you can just use the fan brush if you want. But see how that's just starting to transform right before your eyes into a tree. Okay. And I think we're going to leave that just like it is. We can go in here a little bit and add some detail color to it, like add a little bit of white, kind of gray it up, kind of in here. Kind of show as if light is kind of hitting that a little bit. There we go. But not a lot. You can kind of overdo it on your limbs and make it look kind of fake. But look at that. Now you can start seeing in there. I just love this technique. It really pops. Really, really pops. Now, just while I'm here, I'm going to show you in the corner. So let's say we want to separate this. So I'm going to go into that black, and you got right here, and we're going to start putting our darks in here. I'm not going to go too far over there because then I'll be taking it all out here anyway. So I know that there's going to be bushes, and they're going to be in the front. So I mean, it's going to come down here like this. It's because this is going to be covering the road. There we go. Now that's all I'm going to do, and then it'll eventually go here. But I want to work on my. But while I got a little bit of paint still on my in here, I'm just going to come in here just lightly. See, and then in there, get that. Working my way around, and I'm going to do a lot of this off camera or fast forward it for you because it's going to be really repetitive. You've seen that side. No need to sit here for an hour watching paint dry. Okay, I was just getting all the paint out of it. So now I'm going to have bushes on this side, and this is still a little bit wet, but I'm going to go into that yellow. I'm going to bring it over my yellow. I'm going to bring over my phthalo yellow, my lemon yellow, just a touch of the hooker's green. And then let's start putting it in. So I'm going to work on this, just trying to get some grasses in there. All right, so now I know that I'm going to have some grasses coming over this. And so I'm grabbing that fan brush and I'm pushing down, just snapping it down like this. Tapping real lightly. Got a little bit too much on there. And then just really, because this is even further back, so I don't want a lot of detail in here. And it's going to kind of, there we go. And it's going to kind of be back there even further. I want you to work on this area right here. This is the area you want to work on. And get that looking like this. And then we'll move on. And then I'll show you, because this and this is going to be a lighter color, and I may add a little yellows and lighter colors. I don't know, to push that back a little bit. And then this is going to be more on this side here, and then down here we're going to have even a tree in front of it, but there won't be any trees here. I might make an old dead tree limb or something. I don't know yet, but I think we're getting there. I really think you're going to like this painting when it's done. It's really going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, we had this a little earlier. I went ahead off camera, just kind of finished some of those back trees a little bit over in here, made a little more highlight. So it looks like these are a little further back. Looks like these are a little further, maybe on that side of the bridge. These are on that side of the bridge. I went ahead and I just took my fan brush and just patted, went into some greens and some browns and even some blacks and some yellows, and just tapped it in with that fan brush, just to get it on there, to get some texture, get some lines in there. And then we'll go back in later and we'll put our grasses in. But I think what I want to do, and I'm leaving this tree here for now, we'll do that here in a little bit, but I think I'm going to start getting my covered bridge done. And for that, I think I'm going to just take this flat brush, 5/8 flat brush. I'm getting a little gnarly. I may have to turn this into a filbert brush before long. You know, just scrape the edges, let it. So, I got this in. I didn't know if I wanted an old tin bridge or a roof. I don't really know. I think I want it to be like an old rusty tin, like it had tin on it. So I'm going to go in to my burnt umber over here, and I'm going to put that on there, and then maybe a little yellow. I'm going to make kind of an ochre color. I'm going to bring it down here where I can see it. A little ochre color, and then I'm going to add a little bit of that alizarin crimson in there. Let's see if I can just get kind of a rusty color. And I can always add a little more if I want later. Let's see here. Come up in here and don't worry, we'll get all that cleaned up here in a little bit. There we go. But at least now I'm starting to get my depth in. And again, I think up in here, I just want that a little bit darker on this side too. And then we'll kind of let that, yeah, I like that. I want that a little darker. Okay. And then there'll actually be some highlights here. Now, over in here, I'm going to take some of that dark. I'm kind of going to go down here. Don't use all your dark. Just kind of make some lines in here, and it'll make sense here in a few minutes. And then remember, I want that, because that's going to be dark up there. There's going to be shadow line right up there. I'm going to bring this, and I'm going to kind of just, and don't worry too much, because we'll we'll define that door. Okay. There we go. And see, I'm kind of going over what I just put on there because I want this to be a little bit on the, I want it to be a red covered bridge. And like I said, we're going to put more detail in it here in a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of go back there and whitewash almost with the red over the white, because the red is very transparent, but that white is opaque. And let me grab my maul stick here. And then let me just see if I can kind of come in here and just, should have used probably a finer brush, but that's okay. And we're going to start putting the indication of some stones here. And right now it won't look like much. And then that's going to be the wall there. And then the stones will go back this way here, like this. Maybe there's one here, there. Now again, we're just putting, there we go. And then like I said, this will be kind of the edge here. Now, I'm going to go into that brown, just almost pure brown. And I'm going to come here and see if this is even ready yet. There we go. Probably could let it dry just a little longer, but okay, and it's going to come there. And on this side, right here, and it's going to come down. Now I'll highlight it here in a few minutes, but I want to just get that on there, because see, that's going to be the fascia board there. And then the fascia board will come along here on this side. I'm just going to kind of pull down real lightly up here. Don't, just kind of tap and pull down, go back into more. Don't cover up all of that. I'm starting to get a little, I'm going to add just a touch of water to it so it's not so draggy. And then I like to mix a couple of different tones of the color, and I put them side by side so that I can go back and forth, make some strokes lighter, and then go back in and add some darker. But again, right now, I just want to get some grasses in here, but not too much. We'll highlight. Yeah, I got a little bit too much water there. Let me back into some of this. And then just kind of up in here. Don't, like I said, don't cover them all up. You want to be able to see, but you're not going to see a lot of grass detail way up here, because and then going down this way, it's going to get darker. But right now, I'm just getting some of it on. There we go. And as we come down, we will put more of a stroke on, but not too much, because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do some work on these grasses. Plus, I don't know what's going to go in here. I don't quite know yet, because I'm thinking of these little trees here on that side. So I think my path is going to come this way a little bit and really show that path. But right now, like I said, don't give up all those darks in there. Just kind of. Okay, what I've done is I went in and I worked on this with a little fine brush, did some detail work, put a little ridge cap up here, And now I'm kind of working in the water, taking that little flat brush, and I'm just making some little waves in here, making it kind of all come together. And we'll add various colors, but this is kind of how you start blending all of this. And like I said, I've got some different colored blues I'm working with, and we'll have a rock there. We're going to have some rocks over here, but right now I'm just trying to get some of this in, just real lightly. And this gives your water a little depth. We could also, I said we put some rocks under the water here, but I just don't know that we'll have time for that. We're just getting some of this in. It's kind of dark on this side, but we're just getting them in there. And again, you can make this as detailed as you want. I'm trying to move fairly quick just to show my class how to do it. And again, if they want to take their painting home and finish it at home, they can do that. They'll have the tools they need, the knowledge to kind of come in and start doing it. And again, I'm no expert at this. I enjoy the water. I can set and I do paintings where I concentrate on the water a little bit more, and you can really make water. It just looks so real. I still practice, and I mean, I still struggle with some of the water. Like I wish it looked different, but it doesn't always, or it doesn't look like I want it to a lot of times. But you know, we're just gonna, and we'll add a lot more detail to it when we get going. Just trying to get some of the ripply waves in here, or water ripples. I don't know what we want to call them. And I'm just kind of getting them in here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead. Oh yeah, I got me a mixture of a little bit of black, brown, and that ultramarine blue. So I just kind of come in here, and I'm just going to tap some a little bit. They got some shadow lines in here. Maybe back in here and in here. Kind of come in here, and well, like I said, we're going to add a little more depth to it as we go. Right now I'm just kind of getting that first little wave or layers on, because if we had to stop in class, if we ran out of time, this gives us a good jumping off point to take it home and just keep working on it. But I think for now we'll just leave that. Get some over in here, and we'll doctor them up a little bit. But there'll be highlights too. I mean, I'll go into my white, and I'll take that same blue I had, but I'm going to make it a little brighter and whiter, and then come in and just kind of, there'll be little, you know, you can kind of put little specks of white in there just to, and it'll be, well, we'll just keep going with it. But I just wanted to show you kind of how we kind of put different layers in there and kind of start making it look more realistic. Even in the back here, I go into that green, take that green, take a little bit of that yellow, and go back in here. And then I can kind of pull down in here, because I think those trees on the other side of that will kind of be, and just real, maybe taking a little bit of artistic license here just to get it a little bit. Let's see, take that big brush, I'm kind of pull down in here. There we go, I don't want it so. There we go. I don't know if you can really see it, but get off there. But it just, I can kind of touch that up with some ripples going back through there. There we go. But now you're kind of seeing how we kind of put that together. And then just some ripples through there just to kind of break it up. There we go. I like that. And we'll let it dry. It'll darken. So I'm going to continue to work on my water. I'm going to put some stones in, and I'll show you the first one. Let's just grab a brush. I don't know. And I'm going to go, I don't really know. Since this is so dark, I'm just going to add a little bit of black, blue, that kind of color, a little bit of white, just so I'll be able to see it. And I'm going to say my rock's going to be about right here. And it's going to kind of go off, and I may have to readjust that, and it kind of go off here in the bank like this. You can't really see it yet, but you will. And then I'll probably have one like coming in here, like there. Maybe another one here. Something like that in there. And I know I'm going to have a couple of them over here. I'm kind of using a big brush getting back there, and let me just put a little highlight so you can kind of see it. It'll set in here somewhere. And then probably one in here. I don't know if you can really see them on the camera yet, but you will. And then I'm probably going to want, can't really see that. I'll have to move my canvas around a little bit when I start, but it's going to go somewhere in here like this. And it's going to be a good size one. And then there's going to be one. Let me brighten that so you can see it. It'll kind of go in the water here. Something like that. And then I don't know what we'll have back in here. I think I want to seat that back there with a big rock somewhere in there. And then there'll probably be some, I'll have to work on that edge. And then there'll probably be one about in there like that. And that could change. That could change. I could put more in, maybe less. I don't know. And it'll just kind of, we'll just come in here and you can do this all through the painting and make it just really look spectacular. But we're because we're in class, so we could come in. Where did I have my? I have my fan brush here. We could come in with that fan brush and load it up and grab. I'm gonna mix up a little bit more while I'm here, and then just like just that corner, and just pick up It's a little bit on the too bright. We could just slowly, and see, we can put in a lot more really fast, just and kind of go back and forth with them. And then we could come in and highlight it with some lighter ones, or just with that single brush. You can pull down, but you don't get as good of effect, I don't think. So I like just lifting and just real lightly. You don't want them too big back here. Just lift and tap. It's not real good there, but we have to clean that up a little bit. But I'm not going to worry too much about it, because I got a lot more to do before I'm getting to the grasses anyway. But again, that's just how you can do some of your little grasses. As you can see now, what I've done is I've added a few grasses, kind of blocked in. I did some trim around my windows and the door, going across the bridge, kind of highlighted the bridge a little bit more, trying to make the bridge really simple, because we're going to do this in class. Kind of dressed up that a little bit, but you can work on it a lot more. I added a few little grasses. I put this tree in, pushed that back. So I think I highlighted some of the rocks, and if you want to just highlight the rocks, get you a little bit of white, maybe just gray it down just a little bit, and see where that sun might be hitting it. You can just kind of come in here. I got that a little bit too gray, a little too much shadow in there. Go right into the white there, since I got black already on that brush. And you can kind of just stipple it in, what I call stippling, just ever so slightly. Just stipple it in, just kind of like that. What it does is kind of gives that rock a little definition. Probably too big of a brush though. Probably use a smaller brush. And just kind of just tap it just a little bit, and that gives that rock a little more definition. Just some light spots, not much. Okay, and now I'm going to mix me a little bit of white, a little bit of brown. I'm going to kind of come in here, kind of make that. I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to put a little tree branch in here, maybe one over here, got one up in here, here. Alright, so I'll clean that brush out. And like I said, we're at the point now where we could call it done. We could keep adding details to it. We can come in here. You can use your maul stick if you want, and just over here, add a few down here by the water, just maybe even going into the water a little bit. And there we go. You could bring that way. Maybe it goes right down into the water. Add a little more over here. And like I said, we can keep going with this indefinitely. We can keep, you can put all kinds of grasses, and I may add a few more grasses in the end, just for me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. This one is going to be our July, August paint class in 2025. One of the students had requested to do a covered bridge, so I thought I'd do one that fairly simple to do, but at the same time take it home, work on it at home, just keep adding detail after detail after detail. And like I said, I might play with it a little bit more, but I don't want to put a lot of detail in it for class, because then, you know, you come to class and you see it and you go, hey, I want to paint that. And if you say, well, it's not going to quite look like that, because we're going to have to do it in a couple of 3 hours. So we'll get you to this point, and then if you want to add more detail later, you can. So anyway, that was some light little things just to make it look like little floaties, like little maybe bubbles or something. You know, you don't want to make them all the same size. You don't want to just put them in there randomly. Just dot, 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 dot. Kind of smudge them around in there. Yeah, okay, that. And that kind of brings depth to the water. So, as you can see, we can put some back here. Like little floaties are on there. Maybe back in there, there's a few. But you won't probably see them that much because they're in the shade. But these are the kind of little things that make your painting pop. And like I said, there's so much more we could do in this water. Again, we run out of time for class, so we can't do it all. But it gives them an idea of how we do it and how it can keep going and how they can keep going with it. So I think we're going to call that done. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, have a great week, and we'll see you next week for another painting. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but hopefully we can get one done for you, and I hope you like it again. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.